Hello, this is Stefan again from schristoph.online. Today we'll talk about my latest blog post on how content provenance is finally growing up and what Anthropic's new watermark really signals for teams using AI-generated content. Here's the core idea. Newer Claude models now mark what they generate. Files get assigned provenance manifest, and plain text carries an imperceptible watermark. It's a probabilistic signal, not a proof. And crucially, it is not a hidden character you can just delete. The story starts a couple of years ago at a broadcaster event in Vienna. Adobe showed something called content credentials, a way to attach tamper-evident provenance to a piece of media. I thought it was genuinely useful, but that adoption felt years away, and it only covered files. Then this August, that Sunday showed up on a Tuesday. Newer Claude models started marking generated files with a signed manifest and generated text with an imperceptible watermark applied right at the model level. The push behind it is the EU AI Act's new transparency rules. Here's the part almost everyone gets wrong. The serious text watermark is not a hidden character smuggled into the string. Instead, it gently biases which of several equally plausible next words the model picks, following a secret pattern keyed to the words before it. The signal lives in those choices, so it survives copy-paste and even light editing. The mechanism comes from published research. This well-known paper describes the green list, red list approach to biasing token choices, and the statistical test used to detect the mark after RD. So you might ask, does a detected mark prove a machine wrote the text? No, and this is the subtlest point. People use these models to proofread, translate, and summarize, so a human's own writing can carry the mark too. It signals that a marked model was involved, not who authored the ideas. Now, the honest catch. Because the mark is spread across word choices, anything that rewrites those words weakens it, heavy paraphrasing or translation can strip it, and a short passage barely carries a signal to begin with. A sharp reader pushes back. Detection needs the secret key, so it doesn't clash with the push for interoperable marks. It's a real tension. The likely resolution is provider-enabled detection, which is still coming rather than a fully open scheme that anyone could forge. So if it can be paraphrased away, what's it actually worth? Treat a detected mark as evidence, not proof, at scale. And for the honest majority of content, you now have a real provenance signal where there was none before. It is not a forensic guarantee against a determined adversary. It helps to keep the two mechanisms apart. C2PA, or content credentials, cryptographically signs provenance onto files, and that side is mature and industry standard. RD, statistical watermarking, marks plain text, where there is no file to sign. They're complementary, a signed record on files, and a source detection signal on prose. This is the standard RD behind the file side, C2PA, the Coalition for Content Provenance and Authenticity. It's the open cross-vendor standard RD co-founded by Adobe, and it's exactly what was demoed in Vienna years ago. Under all the technical curiosity, my media customers ask one thing: can I use this in production without getting into trouble? The Act answers one slice of that transparency. The provider must mark its output, and the deployer must disclose AI-generated text that informs the public. But read the carve-out carefully, because it's the whole game for editorial teams. The disclosure duty falls away when a genuine human review and editorial responsibility are in place. The law isn't saying don't use AI, it RDs the accountable workflow good newsrooms already run. This gets concrete on AWS. Germany's largest public broadcaster, ARD, built a content provenance pipeline on AWS, signing content credentials at creation and verifying each video fragment in the player during playback. That's a real broadcaster solving the exact trust problem on serverless building blocks. A question I get a lot: does the watermark still apply when you use Claude through AWS? Yes, for the text watermark, Anthropic says it's applied at the model level, so it travels no matter which cloud or product the text comes through. Signed file provenance, they note, may not be supported on every surface, so confirm that for your platform. And here's the reference architecture on the AWS Media and Entertainment blog. It walks through how the broadcaster signs content credentials with serverless services and verifies them near real-time in the player. So why do I call this good news rather than a leash on AI? Because for a long time, the honest answer to can I trust and reuse this content was sort of be careful now. You can show where a file came from, prove a human owned the final call, and build a workflow that stands up to scrutiny. Here's how I'd sum it up. The file provenance side is mature. The text watermark is a capable teenager you shouldn't trust unsupervised. And the law is the adult in the room that Revo RDs a human owning the final call. Content provenance is growing up. Thanks for listening. I hope this was helpful. If so, you can reach out on LinkedIn directly or head to my blog at schristoph.online. Let's keep in touch. Take care.